Hi and welcome to the BeBop study chords. We're going to continue with the minor 7 chords, and this is going to be our first approach lesson. So the approach is going to be, we're going to be doing 7 different approaches, and it's going to be the same concept as we did for the major 7 chords. So what we're going to do is practice these approach patterns in 3 different ways, and they're going to be intense study lessons, so you're going to have to really get into it and really focus and get in the zone. But this is going to totally open you up for melodic ideas and improvisational ideas when you're playing bebop or jazz music. So it's going to be a real vital study for you. Okay, so this is our first approach pattern. I'm going to play the pattern for you first, and then I'm going to get into the 3 different ways of study. So I'll demonstrate this over a C minor 7. So the chord tones, that's the most important part, are C, E flat, G and B flat. So C, root, E flat, flat and 3rd, G is the 5th, and then B flat is the flat and 7th. And for the minor 7 chord, we're thinking the Dorian chord scale. Okay, so the first approach pattern is scale degree above to chord tone. So our chord tone is the target, and what we're doing is we're approaching that target from a scale degree above. So our C, approach that scale above, it's going to be a D. Now the E flat, a scale above, is going to be an F. So F to E flat. The G, a scale above to the G, is an A. And then finally our B flat, our flat and 7th, a scale above that is a C. Now let's sustain a chord, a C minor 7 chord, so you can hear it in relationship. Okay, I'm going to show you some different melodic patterns that you can kind of work on with this stuff, but that's basically the sound. So the first part, or the first way I want you to practice this, is over a single string. Now this is really beneficial for a few different reasons. The first being, it's a great ear training exercise, so you're going to be really forced to hear the approaches. It's not a technical exercise, which brings more emphasis to the ear training. You're going to have to really hear it, and also you're going to be playing in areas of the instrument that you might not be so familiar with. So it's going to really unlock or unearth some problem areas, which is really great. That's what we want to do, just become fluent with this concept all over the instrument. So what I want you to do is observe where your lowest chord tone is on your lowest string. Now I have a B string here, so my lowest chord tone is going to be a C on the 1st fret, but the most common bass that you guys are probably going to be using is a 4 string. And if you think of the E string, our lowest chord tone on the E string will be a G. Okay, so that's where we're going to start the pattern from. So what you basically do is, my lowest is a G on the E string, so I'll approach the G, then you'll go up in order. So it's going to be a B flat next, then approach the C, then approach the 3rd, then approach the 5th, and you're just going to keep going until you get to your highest approach note to chord tone, as high up as the fretboard as you can go. For me, I have 24 frets, so I can approach this C here, where that D is on the 22nd fret. So the C is on the 20th fret. That's as high as I can go. I have an E flat here on the 23rd fret, but I don't have the F, which would be the 25th fret. So that's basically the way you want to do it. So you ascend and then you descend in the same order. Once you've done that, you go to the next string and repeat, and next string and repeat, and you do this across all of your strings. Now it doesn't matter what size your instrument is, that's the concept. Lowest chord tone on your lowest string, all the way up to your highest approach to chord tone, as far up as the neck you can go, ascending and descending across each string. Now I want you to do that along with a sustained chord. There's going to be downloads available for you in each of the keys, so you can download it and play along with it. And I want you to do this without making any mistakes. Now it's really important that you kind of master your instrument, and the way to do that is just by simply setting yourself goals and targets. So my goal is I don't want to make any mistakes until I move on to the next key. Now this might take you a while to to get it together, but you're going to unearth some problem areas which you can really start isolating and learning different parts of your instrument. But once you're ready, move on to the next key and repeat and go through all 12 keys. Now once you've done that, we'll move on to part 2, but I'll explain what part 2 is all about after I've demonstrated this. So I'm going to start on the E string here. I'm going to sustain my chord, C minor 7, and again my lowest chord tone is going to be a G. B flat, then to C, to E flat, to G, B flat, C. Now I'll descend, same order. Now I'll move on to the A string. My lowest chord tone will be a B flat on the 1st fret. Again, go up in order. D string, E flat is the lowest. G string, and C string if you have it. But that's the idea. And once you're comfortable with that, just move on to the next key and keep repeating. Don't be in a hurry, but I really want you to kind of be able to do it smoothly and kind of fluently. So basically I don't want long pauses between the next one. Just kind of make sure you can play it. And actually the MP3 that you can download, it's a couple of minutes long and it's a really good kind of target time. So if you can do it within the time span of that MP3, perfect. And then just move on to the next key.